The screams from those being eaten and the pleas for salvation seemed to bury into Val's mind as she kept killing anything that appeared in front of her. A part of her didn't feel human after a while as she swung her sword at numerous monsters. The light from the flames that E was continuously streaming into the waves helped provide enough light for them to fight. "You bastards!" Her blade plunged into the skull of the latest one in front of her. The blood sprayed all over her face, blinding her for a moment. "What the hell are you doing?" Brittany shouted at her, while she used her gauntleted hand to wipe away the blood. The stench of the blood seemed to flood her nostrils, making her want to throw up. Each time her foot planted on the ground, there was a sucking sound as the blood from the monsters mixed with the ground. How did they end up in such a situation, where all of them were investigating the strange monster sightings to drowning in monsters? What was she going to tell the families of the men she lost? She felt foolish being led into a trap by monsters. An arrow whooshed past her, to be plunged into the eye of a monster whose face was next to hers. She didn't even have time to react before realizing what had happened. Turning her head, Val saw the beast woman, Anaculus, firing off arrows after arrows into the swarm. "Is this what my parents went through during the last overflow?" Her thoughts drifted again. "We cannot continue to ignore what is happening inside the academy." Val slammed her fist on Nathaniel's desk inside of his office. "Val, I have told you that you are blowing this out of proportion. Students naturally have disagreements, and it is not always due to clashing of nobles and commoners." Nathaniel sighed as he tried to persuade her. Shaking the documents in her hand, Val stated, "Are you trying to tell me that the 20 cases of rape in just this month has nothing to do with an underlying issue? That the people who are committing these horrendous acts just happen to be nobles of the empire and kingdom? It is a horrible thing that is happening, but," he started. "Nathaniel, both of us know that you are not a fool, so do not try to insult my intelligence by continuing the charade." She cut him off. "The council needs to take action. Each time I apprehend these scum, I keep receiving orders from you to let them go. What is going on? As the Lady Knight of this academy, I demand to know what you are planning." Nathaniel placed a hand over his face and whispered, "You remembered what happened early this year, where the exploration class was nearly wiped out by monsters?" Looking up at Val, he continued, "That has not been an isolated incident. I have contacts within the kingdom who have been informing me that such events are becoming more frequent." "What does such a thing have to do with us?" Val asked, sounding confused. "Have you not thought about why you have not been hearing this until just now? Our students and residents have not been as affected due to the support we have been receiving from certain nobles." The implications hung in the air between them. "Are you saying—" "Yes. The nobles that I have been asking you to release are related to the families that have been handling the increase in monster activities. We are not a nation unto ourselves and rely on other powers to intercede with such matters. Though we do have a military force, it is nowhere near enough to protect this academy if there is such an increase in monster attacks." He yelled out the last point at Val, to get her to understand how delicate the situation was. Val stayed silent after hearing this. Though she understood what he was saying to be true, the fact that nobles were taking advantage of others didn't sit well with her. What does the council have to say about this? They are in support of my actions. Though they understand that you are only doing your duties, we are grateful that you have a strong sense of justice, but you also need to know that our hands are tied in such matter. Will you be able to curb your duties on these issues and be able to look away for the greater good of the Academy's survival?" He pleaded with her. Val knew that she wouldn't be able to turn a blind eye to such a matter. Nathaniel had been someone that helped her get in such a position within the Academy. It pained her that she would have to oppose his actions. Nodding, Nathaniel said, "I understand." He chuckled and smiled. "Even though we are fighting about this issue, it is because you are such a strong and caring person that I thought you would be perfect for this position. I am sorry that I have tried to get you to compromise on your ideals," Nathaniel grimaced and said. "Though I am unsure about how we will handle this, I will talk to the council and convince them that you are right and support you with your actions." She remembered leaving that office, happy to have such great people as fellow members of the council. "Die!" Val yelled as she sliced the head of a monster and followed through to the next one. She tried to flow from one monster to another, keeping her movements to a bare minimum in order to conserve her stamina. Time seemed to have no meaning as she took down monster after monster. When she messed up, E's servants were able to be there to support her mistakes. "You have asked for me?" Val asked as she entered the president's office. She saw Nathaniel looking out the window with his back to her. With him standing there, Val could understand the stress that must be on his shoulders and how she would try her best to support him and the academy. He turned around and gave her a weary smile. "There have been some of our students who have been killed in monster attacks a couple of days ago. I never seem to get used to having to speak with the families and give my condolences." Walking over to where he kept some alcoholic beverages, he poured himself a glass. Raising it up and looking at the contents, he asked, "I wish there was some way for us to find what is causing these increases in attacks. It was not like this, so there must be something that is influencing these monsters. Could we not send people to investigate this issue?" she inquired. "But who could we send out on such a mission? We would need to find someone with a strong sense of justice and who could be trusted with such an important task." Nathaniel sighed in frustration. Hearing how this could be such a dangerous task and leaving it to someone else didn't sit right with her. Realizing that there was only one solution, Val said, "I will take some men with me and find out what is causing this incident." Nathaniel spun towards her looking shocked. "No, we cannot have the leader of the disciplinary committee go out and potentially get killed." "No, you're right. This type of dangerous mission can only be entrusted to someone on the council. To expect someone else to handle this would be unfair." Seeing that he was about to convince her to walk away from her idea, she stated, "I have made up my mind on this matter. I'll inform my men to get ready to leave for this operation." As she was about to walk out of his office, Nathaniel said, "I do not agree with your decision, but if you are going to be stubborn, you need to have some support." When she turned towards him, he continued, "I believe you should take the new student, E, with you. With his abilities, he will be a great asset." "What are you suggesting? Do you hear yourself speaking?" she yelled at him, angry at him for even suggesting the idea. "No. You are my precious friend. If there's anything I can do to help you succeed, then I will do it. This is an order from your president, and I will not allow for any discussion on this matter. If you are foolish enough to go on this potentially suicidal mission, then you will heed my command." His expression matched the same one that she had on her face when she came to a decision. "Please, help us, Lady Knight," a soldier called out to her, as two monsters gripped him by his shoulders and proceeded to tear him in half. "Damn you!" She rushed towards the monsters as they tried to drag both halves away. There was a sudden weight pressing on her back as she fell onto the floor. Next to her left ear, she heard a growl and felt heated breaths of the monster. Realizing that she was pinned to the ground and was about to be eaten, she choked in grief. "I am sorry, all of you. My foolishness was what caused this mess." Closing her eyes, Val waited for the monster to bite off her head.